What up, y'all? I know you're reading the title and thinking, what the hell? These guys, again. But really, what this episode is about is how much we decide to care about what other people think about us. How many F's are we deciding and willing to give that slows down our life, slows down our pace of happiness, slows down the possibility of joy, just by giving our F's to people that don't deserve it? There are a lot of things in your life that you should just honestly not give a F about. We're going to talk about all that and then some, y'all. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Let us know what you think. Subscribe to our channel, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all the good things. We love you guys. Here's Nights at the Round Table. And welcome to another episode of Nights at the Round Table. It's your boy, Man Weezy, and we got my queen on the left. We got B Brill on the right.
What's up?
We out here chilling. We out here, for real chilling. I'm feeling good. How you doing, Queen? I know you're trying to wake yourself up. I know you're feeling a little...
Good. Today was... I think it's just getting back into work things. I had a Zoom call, and it was I had to prepare, make sure my lighting was good, and they had sent me, certain equipment to use, and then so I was, stressed about this equipment, and then come to find out, they're like, oh, no, that's just in case if you needed it. And I was like, oh... So I don't have to figure out how to plug all these things in. Anyways.
It's just, I think it's the idea of going from doing nothing to doing something.
Exactly. Yeah. It's that transition. And so I get myself all worked up about it, and then I'm drained after. So I'm trying to...
That's funny.
pick myself up again.
No, I feel you. I had a lot to do today too, but I'm feeling good. Hey, we had these guys before, Perano Estates. And they give us a whole case. So we are making use of this stuff because we liked it. This is like a deep red. And it's very intense.
It's beautiful. Let me
smell it. It feels...
Oh, I wish you could just smell this through the airwaves.
Through the airwaves? It tastes good. We're incredibly grateful for anybody who sends us stuff.
It's a little dry, but I like it. I can appreciate it.
It is drier than we typically... at least Brandon. I know Brandon likes.
Yeah, we don't really do dry. What is this?
Sweeter ones.
Yeah, I like the Sweeter Man. One
of
Drake's best songs.
I'm incredibly glad that if you're listening, if you're watching us on YouTube, please hit subscribe and share with your friends. The notification bell, hit all that good stuff. A little thumbs up will go a long way. And if you're listening to us, thanka. I'm excited for you guys to be here because today, if you saw the title pop up on your screen, the subtle art of not giving a fuck. We're not going to use the word all the time because I know some of you guys are still getting used to our honesty. So we have a couple of critiques. I love this podcast, but do they have to use vulgar language? And I'm just like, I didn't think we speak.
Yes, bitch. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
What's my favorite word for all you Bay Area fans out there? Too short.
I don't think we use crazy language, but for those, we're not going to keep saying the F word. Yeah. We'll just, the F word in this scenario really just means what is it that you're caring about?
Yeah, to me, the subtle art of not giving a fuck is based off this book by this guy named Mark Manson. And at first, I remember I was so drawn to the book just because of the title. I was like, yo, this sounds pretty baller. Yeah. I need to pick this up. Right. And it ended up becoming this beautiful book. And again, so today, for this conversation, fuck is going to mean where you are placing your care, your concern, and your time.
Yeah.
Okay? So... subtle art of not giving a fuck. This is what this conversation is really about. This is really about value. Where you are placing your value. So the truth is, when you grow up as a little kid, you are new into this world. Everything is amazing and exciting. And you are just giving all these F's about every single thing, right? Oh, my toys don't match. Oh, your balloon at your party for your 3rd birthday.
Yeah, my brother got more cookies than I did.
Yeah, you're crying about everything. And again, at that young, you expect to do that because that's what's expected. You don't know better, right? Immaturity is in this place of I'm just giving all these F's about everything that is coming my way. Now, you get older, you get a little bit more wiser, and you have some more experience in your life, and you start to realize that little Jimmy not inviting you to his birthday in 4th grade actually doesn't matter and doesn't have that big of a difference in your life now in your 20s.
But also F Jimmy.
Yeah.
Jimmy. Whatever.
Jimmy, man. Jimmy, he's cold-blooded. And so this is called maturity. Maturity now is in this place of where I am realizing that a lot of things, little petty shit that used to matter, doesn't actually matter and doesn't actually have to have an effect on my life.
Right.
So, meanwhile, in modern day, ads are everywhere. Ads are in our music. Ads are when we open up Instagram. It's all over. And when you watch TV and you watch the news, when you listen to your favorite influencer talk and you listen to your favorite podcast talk, there are all these things. And constantly, every single day, you are being bombarded with these messages of, you should give a F about this. Right? Hey, our new hamburger is not made of actual meat. It's plant-based and you want it.
Yeah.
This will change your life. Hey, this new pill, this will help you lose 30 pounds in 3 days. You should want this. And constantly all these things. So this message is telling you, hey, more, more, more. When you get this more thing, when you get this here, all of a sudden you're going to be changed. So a lot of people will listen to these messages. One, because it's good for their business. But then two, you are limited in the amount of cares that you can give in your life. Because this is the truth. You're going to die someday, right? That could be depressing as hell, or that could be inspiring as hell. Truth is, you are going to die. Between now and your death, there is a limited amount of F's that you can give. So if you think about it in this way, on a daily basis, how many of those F's, those limited F's that you are given to walk this life, are you spending on stupid stuff? So-and-so posted a picture. Oh my God, I can't believe they're on another vacation.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get enough change back. Oh my God, this coupon's not working at this, like all this stupid stuff. And I realized, oh my God, this just means that your values are off somewhere because you are wasting your F's on things that don't really matter. So this is what this conversation is about. The subtle art of not giving a fuck does not mean that you are indifferent. Okay. The way that we are wired as human beings, we are going to always care about things.
Yeah.
You cannot remove that from your system. Even the people who say, I don't even care. That's still choosing to not care. There's still a choice in that. So when we're saying that, oh, I don't give a, it's not saying you're indifferent. You're going to care about something. Okay. But we want to make sure that you are caring about something that is care worthy, that is worthy of your time and your concern.
That's interesting because I have said multiple times, like ever since I got out of the industry, the Christian industry, I've literally said that I don't give a fuck, I don't give a F about anything anymore. And you describing that, really what I was saying was I'm choosing to care about what I know is true and less about what people don't know about me. So I'm caring about the truth of what I know I am, who I am, what I do, what I mean to God, what my motives are for everything I do, and less caring about people's assumptions of what I care about, how I love God and all these other things. So the choice was very, very on purpose, but I don't give a F about this because I'm too busy caring about the truth in my life, like why I'm really doing things. Before it was always a issue of, man, why do they think this about me? Or why can't they see that I just love God? Or how come they can't see that I'm this way or I'm this way? And then I realized these are things out of my control. Like I can't waste my F's on things that I cannot control. It's literally throwing money into the wind.
That is going to be like, when you're listening to a song and you want to play that on repeat, that little repeat button +1. When you are choosing to care about what other people are thinking and you're placing your value in that, that is literally just a repeat feedback loop from hell. Because you're going to constantly be miserable.
Say it.
Because people, like, again, what you just said is out of your control. And again, I'm trying to, because again, I'm not perfect in any way, but this message has really begin to like revolutionize the way I see things. So when I see people who are completely miserable with their lives, thrashing and trashing other people online or in real life, the first thought that comes to me is, I feel bad for those people. That they don't have anything else worthwhile to give their F about. They're choosing it to unleash someone that they've never met online and a story that they have completely out of context.
Yeah.
It just really means you were bored with your own life.
Man, maybe that's the answer to why. Because I said it in the last podcast that I don't remember a time where I ever was online going after someone. And now that you say that, it's probably literally, it's not probably, it's for sure because I care about my life and what's going on in my life way more than I care about what's going on in other people's lives. Like my cares are taken up.
I wish I had more of that. Like, as I was listening to you describe what that means, I was like, man, I care too much about what people who mean nothing to me think. And then even when you're like, someday we're going to die, that could be depressing or inspiring. I'm like, depressing. For sure depressing. I feel like I'm on the opposite side. I need to learn this art. I need to learn the subtle art, not so subtly. Because even just this morning, I had time today. And it wasn't even on a social media app. It was on the Ring doorbell app.
Wait, what?
Because the Ring doorbell app, I don't know if you guys have the Ring doorbell, but obviously if you do, you know what it is. If you don't, it's where you push the button to ring the doorbell and there's a camera and they can see you and they can talk to you, blah, 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 blah. Well, there's a community aspect to it, and you can share footage from your Ring to your neighbor saying, hey, somebody tried to break into my car, and then you send the video of the guy or whatever, or anything, right?
Yeah.
So I've seen people post if there's a coyote in the neighborhood, and they warn the neighbors, and they'll say, coyote on the street, keep your pets inside, right? So I did that. My neighbor found a coyote in his backyard, literally next door to us, last night. And so I went on the app to tell everybody because he doesn't have the doorbell. And I said, hey guys, coyote, keep your pets inside.
Yeah.
And then this guy replies to me and says something like, you're more likely to harm your pet than a coyote. Leave him alone. And I was like, oh, okay, well, actually, no, that's not true. But for everybody with pets, keep your pets inside. And then he gives me some statistic about how humans kill more dogs in like car accidents and stuff like that than coyotes do. And I was like, listen, bro, with your all coyote lives matter, get out of here, first of all, go somewhere else. And I think we went back and forth a few times on the Ring app. And then I had anxiety by like 10:30 a.m. because I'm going with some stranger. And I'm like, this is stupid.
Wait, he's in our neighborhood though?
Somewhere. It doesn't tell you exactly where the person
'cause I'll
lives.
show up at his house.
You so dumb. But anyways, I was like, why? And then after, when I had anxiety about it, I was like, why do I even care what this stupid person thinks? So dumb.
This is why I tell you not to engage online and why I love engaging online. Because I can engage online completely and utterly devoid of negative emotions attached to it.
That's an interesting thing you just brought up, Ange. And I don't know. I just made the connection, at least for me. How much of my anxiety is based out of things that I'm wasting my F's on?
Yeah.
Like, I realize, like, if I could, again, we're all on this journey of trying to, like, really prioritize our life based off our values, like choosing where to spend our time, our care, our concern. So if I could siphon off all these other areas of things that are not F-worthy into my life, into the things that I actually value that are good values, like how much anxiety would exist in my life on a daily basis? Now, again, it's a process. No one's going to just all of a sudden tomorrow be like, you know what? I only have great values in my life, and my schedule perfectly reflects those values, right? But at the same time, too, man, I think of like, man, how much worry, how much stress, how much anxiety, how much time I have wasted because I have spent my F's on just stupid stuff. I like, that's really it. And I think, too, during these COVID times, I think there's so many people that are so bored.
Yeah, they have a lot of time.
They have a lot of time
on their
now.
hands and a lot of F's to give. I think because of the resting, it's also made people stack up on F's. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They got a lot of F's in the bank.
They're like, yep.
It's like, and I'm spending them. I'm rich with F's to give, so I'm spending them, and you can see it. I can't even count how many different things are going on that people. There are things that you should genuinely be caring about. You really should.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole litany of things that are just not necessarily worthy of that. And it really is what you say. Look, if you're struggling with this issue, caring about small things. I think the bigger thing is, I think that the answer to that is get something in your life that is worth caring about.
I have lots of things worth caring about.
Like
You,
purpose.
my dog, my faith, my career.
Yeah,
but
but
for
Queen,
some reason,
then it goes back to priority,
Okay.
like what he was saying. Because when you wake up, the first thing you do is you get on your phone. Then you spend a lot of time on your phone. So you spend way more time on your phone than, let's say, connecting.
whoa, first of all.
I'm just saying, I'm not saying, I'm not speaking as a disgruntled husband. I'm just saying, when you're around me,
Okay.
I see you on your phone a lot.
I do need to disconnect from my phone. Like, I would love to do a social media fast again. Like, for some reason, it's hard to, like, have boundaries. Because I tell myself, I'm not going to get on my phone for my first 3 hours of my day. Yeah, right. I have to check to see if I have any emergency text messages from the night that I missed while I was sleeping. And then I accidentally open Instagram and then I accidentally check all my DMs. And
But then here's the thing, though. Here's the answer: is finding something that has purpose to replace those mornings that you're just accidentally doing this or accidentally that. That's why the first 3 hours of my day, what am I doing? I'm praying, working out, and doing whatever I need to do around the house. Because all of those things mean something.
and replying to your eBay listings.
Not only if I sold something, I obviously have to ship it out because I'm a good freaking store.
5 stars.
I'm 5 stars all day, babe. You
5.
know that.
5.
But if you replace it, that's the thing. Like, you're expecting you to just magically not care about those things, but you're not replacing it with something that's better for you.
And I think the first step is the awareness of understanding, like, yo, I have these things, but I don't like that I'm actually doing this. And then all of a sudden, it's just making those subtle changes, like just little changes. So again, like, I think some people can get really discouraged by thinking, I got to make these drastic changes in my life. Like,
Right.
dude, this is like years in the making. This is a year. Like, I first read this book on vacation in 2017. This is 3 years of me constantly combing over this thought and trying to address these things in my life.
What do you think it is? What is the thing that always trips you up? That you start spending your F's. What are you spending it on? Like the bad spending.
Yeah.
And what do you think it is about that keeps you throwing your money at it?
I have a thought. Habit, one, at least for what I was just talking about on the phone. Insecurity.
But is that your thing? So what I'm asking is, do you know your thing? What is the thing that keeps triggering you?
People's opinion of me. Opinion of me? The fear of getting canceled. For anything. Anything. Very just not saying anything because somebody's going to find a reason to cancel me. Everybody's getting canceled now. So then I care too much about what people think when I go to write this joke or send out this tweet or retweet something controversial because I don't want to get canceled.
So you're just scared of losing everything?
Kind of. I've had nightmares of not losing everything, but I've had this dream multiple times where I'm doing stand-up and in the middle of my show, people just start getting up and start walking out. Before you know it, there's like a handful of people left. And I like start talking slower and slower because I'm like, wait, should I keep going or everybody's leaving? Why is everybody leaving? I've had that dream multiple times.
Wow.
I've had that reality, so I guess it doesn't scare me. I did a show once in Florida where this promoter was giving away a set of rims for a car.
How many inches, though?
Rims. This was back when it was just Hondas all day
Them
long.
18.
So it was like 17-inch rims. And a set of springs and a set of whatever. And so I told him, he was like, we're going to wait right before you go on. We're going to wait till then to do the giveaway. And I was like, bruh, do not give away these rims until after the show. I promise you, you're going to regret it if you give it away at any point before the show. He's like, no, it's going to be good. And this fool waits till right before we go on, and it clears out. The only people left are the volunteers. So I look at him, and I'm like, do you want us to do something? Like, do you want us to go on? We don't have to go on. Like, I'm not going to have hurt feelings. He's like, I don't know. And then the volunteers, like his staff was like, we want to hear you. So we did 3 songs. It was like 7 people there.
I hope he felt dumb. Like you told him
He
not
for
to
sure
do
felt
it.
dumb. I'm just saying. I think that's probably why I'm not scared of stuff like that, because it already happened to me.
My
But that it was because of an external thing. It
Sure,
was
but
about,
you
it
can't
wasn't
help it.
about
You can't help but take it personal, because I don't think they would have left if like Travis Scott was next. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I mean,
Somebody
if it was
major.
Travis Scott in 2011.
Yeah,
then
probably.
those
Yeah, they
those
probably
crowds
would've
are
left.
skinny.
But I'm saying it's easy to feel those emotions. You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
For me, my trip up is always I want people to like me. So that's been like the toughest thing, because I am now becoming a lot more confident in who I am and my values. And so if you follow me on Instagram, you could probably, I'm not going to like say what I am or who I am, but like you could probably get a sense of that
Sure.
based off the content that I post and the people that I repost and the things that I'm saying about theology and the things that I'm
Right.
saying about, these things that matter to me.
Bangers.
So I've had much more people within this last year highly disagree with me, and they let me know in my DMs.
Yes.
And it's crazy because this even happened like 2 weeks ago. And I'm taking inventory of myself of how I feel in those moments. And before, I would legitimately feel like I'm letting people down who
Yeah.
I've never had a single conversation with. And it just showed you how deep like people pleasing is in me. Like I just want people to like me. But that
Right.
again, that is I would consider a shitty value, because that is something external beyond your control.
Yeah.
Right? Popularity, that is a dumb value to have, because you show up to a party thinking, oh, yo, I got this fly fit. So-and-so is going to be there. And then, like you go to the high school party and you thinking like, oh, yo, I already know everyone going to this party. I'm the flyest dude here. And then all of a sudden, the flyest dude from your rival high school shows up and everyone's on him. You know what I'm saying? And like, you just think, man, if my value is placed on me being the most liked person in the room, I'm going to lose, because I can't control how people perceive me. The best thing that I could do, rather replace that shitty value of being popular with a good value of being honest about who you are, what you're about, how you feel, because that is something you can always control. You can always control your level of honesty. You always have a choice in that. You don't always have a choice if you're going to be the most liked person in the room.
Interesting, because I've been on both sides of the coin. So the one thing that trips me up, and the one thing that I replace it with. Okay, so back when I was broke and still trying to find a woman, I didn't have anything going for me except
Sounds
for
like a Jaheim song.
I was broke and didn't have a woman. I was supremely confident in who God was in me. So even though my status did not scream, this guy's going somewhere, my insides knew, if someone just talks to me, they will fall in love with me. I know it. Let a girl talk to me, because what I have inside of me is so amazing that they're going to believe in me. They will. You know what I'm saying? The negative thing that I have when you're talking, that I feel that I lend my F's to, I've always been a part of a group that I have started. That group has done well, and I inevitably end up by myself. So I have to rebuild whatever momentum I had, while everyone is reminding me, I missed this, I missed the group, I missed the group, I missed the group. So this whole
That
time, I
sucks.
keep battling with, yeah, but I started the group. I was the visionary of the group. I'm the one that pushed the group. Granted, the people that were in the group made it great, but I picked the people in the group. So you're getting the origin, but you're reminding me of the creation of the, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like reminding God of his creation as opposed to him, the qualities of him. And please, I do not concern myself to God, but if I created something, you should love the idea or the person who created this thing that you fell in love with.
Sure, I get it.
But I get more, oh, I missed this or I missed this. And here I am the only reason I'm doing solo stuff or trying to create stuff is because those people left. They were out of my control. And now I'm just left. So what am I going to do? Am I going to keep feeding you the purpose that God has put inside of me and I do it for you, those who are listening right now and whoever listens to my music, I do it for you. I don't do it for myself. But I fight and I contend with, am I only great because of the people I have around me? Which I guess I would say yes. Because the smartest thing a guy can do is put good people around him.
Absolutely.
Because no one can go far by himself. Like I don't think it's, and that's humbling. I'm literally just coming to that revelation right now. I am better with people around me. I think I'm talented and I'm great.
Absolutely.
But I think I'm for sure better with people around me. And I guess the person who realizes that he cannot keep anyone around me, like anyone can go. We started off with 4, now we only got 3. Anyone can go. And that's like my biggest dread. I'm like, shit. Now I got to deal with people telling me that they miss Bobis, you know? I have to deal with people telling me I still love Group on Crew. And still my Panda songs get way more streams than whatever. And that shit was a joke. It was mad easy. Like, we just whatever. Now, I was a part of all these things. But now when I'm trying to do something on my own, it just is so hard to get it going.
Someone left me a DM recently that said they liked me better when I was less successful and my hair was darker.
Wow, oddly specific.
That's weird.
I'm kind of curious what image they have in mind. There's like some specific moment on
They
some
were
YouTube
like,
video.
"You've changed." I'm up.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope so.
I think this is a good kind of segue into breaking down quickly the differences between having good values and bad values.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna name some good values here and some bad values, but I made some notes, and I think again, this isn't the ultimate definition of a good value. You probably have an idea in your mind and add it along with this. So good values to me are reality-based. So it's not some external thing out in the cosmos. They are reality-based.
Right.
Also, they are socially constructive, right? So it is something that is going to help you and possibly help other people around you. Mm-hmm. Third, it is immediate, meaning present in the now, and it's controllable. It is within your grasp. So to me, these are some good values that I have and would love for you guys to chime in as well. Good values to me are one of honesty.
Yep.
Right? That is something that I have control of. That is something that is in now. Because again, honesty is always a present thing. Having compassion. Compassion is a good value to me because it means that I am now living for something or for people other than myself. So it's not a self-centered life. Humility. Right? Humility to me is such an amazing value to have. Love, which we've talked about. Vulnerability.
Yep.
I don't think there would probably be some people that would disagree with me and say, that's not a good value. But to me, that's the ultimate value. Because if you want to have a deep relationship, if you want to be intimate in any sort of friendship, marriage, long-term relationship, it's going to take vulnerability.
Yes.
The other thing is standing up for yourself. To me, that is a good value because life is going to throw you some punches. I always think of that Rocky scene, you know? It's like one of the most inspiring scenes, and he's talking to his son. He's like, life is going to knock you down again and again, and you just get back up. Like standing for yourself. Having respect for others and for yourself. Loyalty. This is a good value. Loyalty, you can control this.
Loyalty. Yep.
I always think of that song too.
Yep.
And to me, you can frame this how you want, but like a family, community, group of friends. Mm-hmm. To me, that is something that we're all searching for.
Yeah.
You know?
Man, and it's funny, if these values become priority to you, I don't know a person that has those things as a priority that has fucks to give about anything negative.
Could you email me that list, please?
Seriously, like if somebody cares about these things, this list, if somebody really makes it a priority to care about humility, to care about compassion, love, vulnerability, standing for yourself, respect. Like if you really make those the pillars on which your house is built, I cannot see you giving your F somewhere that doesn't mean anything. It's just too hard. Like these values, and again, you have to, if you're listening, you have to judge yourself. Like these values may be something that you want, but if you are actively seeking these values, what time do you have to care about the stupid things in life?
Yeah, it's interesting because obviously the modern times that we're living in are so different than people who before they weren't privy to all this information, all this trouble that's happening in all these distant lands.
Yeah.
Right? Because of the advent of social media, we know exactly what's happening across the world. We know every single terrorism attack that's happening. But before, when people were living in just villages, what was their concern about?
What was going on within
What
their
was
community?
going on within their community? So all these values was less like, to me, there was less opportunity to give your F about things outside. Now that outside becomes so much closer now
Yeah.
because of the internet and how fast life is.
It's true.
So even understanding, like with all these things, there's this element of you having to slow down to really assess your values. Because again, I look at these values and I think, man, this is the key to unlock a better quality of life for you.
Right.
If you want to be a better you, take a look at your values, right? If your life isn't adding up in quite the way that you think it should be and you're miserable in your life, I guarantee you have effed up values at some place. Not all of them, but at some place.
Yeah.
Because it's impossible to live a high quality of life without having high quality values.
Yeah.
Your values will always match your lifestyle.
Yeah.
So,
And you know the dangerous thing about social media, which is why I hate it and I don't want to be on it. The world has come up with a way to actually not only monetize but track someone's idea or feeling of being liked.
Their self-worth, their value.
It-
Literally.
we have
Your
literally
monetary value.
chemical
monetize.
release of the dopamine.
Yeah, like there's a way now to literally calculate who likes you. And the reason I'm thinking that is because when I post something and I don't hit the algorithm the right way, and I get no kind of likes on it, something in me has to fight and remind myself there is an algorithm at play that you know nothing of. This is not personal. This just means that your picture has not gone up in front of enough people's feeds for whatever reason. But the fact that there's been able to a way to quantify people's like of your life, I mean, I'm sure most people can't help but be affected.
Well, remember for a second, Instagram was
Considering the no like?
considering taking away the like option.
Yeah.
Too
And
many
I think
people,
they
yeah.
did it for a little while on certain accounts.
Yeah.
They did it, but obviously people didn't respond well to that.
Nah, people are addicted to likes, and a lot of people make their money off of it.
Yeah, exactly. But it's to the point where even this big company is realizing how dangerous
Yeah.
that is. And there's people like committing suicide and
Yeah.
stuff like that who definitely are.
We're gonna see in 10 to 15 years the studies of all these young kids who are growing up on and they're addicted to the dopamine hit that they get off the likes off these pictures.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
we're going to see like the future is going to be like mental health. As it should have been a
Yeah.
focus for a long time, but it's going to be really, really big. Like, I mean, you're going to have, I think there's going to be so many new meditation spots that open up because I just think there's going to be such an influx of all these people who've been so effed up from the negative effects of social media. Now, again, obviously there's benefits to it, but I think about this passage that Jesus said, and he says, where your treasure is, that's where your heart will be also. What did treasure mean? Treasure, I think, if I could, without disrespecting scripture, bring it into this conversation, I think where you give your F, that's where your heart's going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you find yourself in this place constantly being affected by all this stupid stuff, it just means your treasure is in the wrong place. Take a
Yeah.
look at your values. Because bad values are the exact opposite of these good. So in the sense of, I had a definition for some things for bad values. And do you want to say something?
I was going to say, is a value to add to the good ones gratitude? Is that something
great
that could
value.
be? Because gratitude is definitely something that I operate through in my life. And sure, I have days where I have to remind myself, practice your gratitude because I'm stressed or anxiety or whatever it is. And then once I come back to gratitude, And like, for instance, was having anxiety the other day, and I went in the backyard and I laid on the grass and I was looking through the trees at the sun that was kind of setting, and it was so beautiful. And in this moment, I had this peace and this like voice saying to me that, like, why are you wasting so much thought and energy? None of that matters. Like, look at this beautiful sunset and these trees. And in this moment, it was like so peaceful. And it felt like, yeah, why am I giving my energy to this? So many dumb things. And that's essentially like what we're talking about,
Yeah.
is giving your energy to things that don't matter.
Yeah.
That scripture, I looked it up in my little,
Blue Letter Bible.
yeah.
I love that app.
So the word treasure, a place in which good and precious things are collected and laid up, i.e., deposit, wealth, literally where you deposit the wealth of your life. Where is that?
It's your time, money, and attention.
Yeah.
That's what that is. Of like, where are you giving your time, your money, your attention? It's always a reflection of where your heart is.
Yeah. Where are you spending your fucks right now?
Social media.
It's so funny.
I feel what? I'm being honest.
No, I'm glad you are.
No, that's real.
That's where you're giving your fucks right now.
Social media, but also myself, my inner work that I'm doing on myself. Taking the time to learn about actual energy and chakras and things that I am so new to learning about, but so interested in, like learning about my inner child and learning more about meditating and Mother Earth and God's creation and like all of these things that I didn't know about before. And that's where I'm definitely giving a lot of my F's to, and even in my language and the way I speak, and has shifted because that's where my F's are going that way.
Yeah.
And then I go on Instagram to tell everybody about it.
I love that.
What about you? Where are you putting yours?
You know, slowly but surely, it's less Instagram. It's funny, this weekend that I went camping and not having Instagram, I just realized how much more happy I was.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I think I go on Instagram to chase a sort of sense of happiness. Like, I think like, oh, if I get connected with so-and-so, or if I get some more likes, hey boy. Or if I get some more followers, because that'd be nice. You know, like all these sorts of things. And I realized, like, one, that's way beyond my control. So I'm just going to make myself miserable by wanting that more. But then I realized all the time that I spend on Instagram, man, how much time I could be devoting to other things. And so, like, I know for this season, like, my F's are given to my soul and my spirit, man. I've been like, there's this app, which I challenge you guys to get if you're into this kind of stuff, is a Book of Common Prayer. And it's like all these prayers that all these believers from hundreds of years have been praying. So it's kind of cool because like most of my prayer life for most of my life has been just off the dome. Like I'm just like, Lord Jesus,
Freestyle.
I'm coming to you right now, because right now in this moment, you know. But there's something so beautiful about reading these written prayers and just being able to focus your mind on these words that are praying. Because, like, man, I used to be praying for just crazy stuff. And my mind is on, I'm thinking about some girl's booty over here, you know, like straight up. And so being able to be in these written prayers and just like really pray it, like I'm starting to feel my soul just feel so much more connected. And I feel so much more open to receive from God. And then obviously my wife, like, man, this has been just an interesting year. There's a lot of stuff that has come up with us. So for me, it's like really devoting my time to that, to making sure, hey, we're good and we're having tough conversations about things and we're processing things. And then friends, and also working on my career. You know, there's been some cool things that have happened with that. And so it's like, those are the four main things that I'm really focusing on. And I am experiencing that I find myself in a place of being a little bit less stressed, a little bit less anxious, a little bit less depressed, and I think I find some more joy in that.
Yeah. I'm spending all my F's on this podcast. Really, really wanting it to grow and reach more people. And in music, just because I'm still enjoying it. And I think I'm really trying to embrace this year of chill. Because I feel like I'm behind. I'm even pissed, like, I'm trying not to care too much about the fact that my money is tied up, in an investment that went wrong. Because dang COVID, and I'm literally, this year I was going to use to make a bunch of investment moves, and I can't do anything. I just have to sit. And I'm learning not to care about that either, because it's out of my control. And I tell people all the time, this is like a slogan that I've always followed my whole life. You do the possible and God will do the impossible.
Yeah.
That's just kind of the thing that I've lived by. I will do everything that is within my power to become successful. Everything else, I cannot care about. It's just literally wasted emotions, wasted time, wasted everything. Wasted thoughts. I just don't want to do it. So I'm just going to focus on what's in front of me. And literally, I've just learned to be happy and learn to give my F's about the things that are working. The fact that, we still have a house over our heads, the fact that we're able to still put gas in our cars and we're able to smile every day and have more than enough. That's where all my F's are being given right now. Like, I just don't have time for anything else.
Yeah, you're real good at not caring about what people think. And I mean, there's so many times where people get you wrong in the past, not as of late, but usually when you were in the Christian industry. And I would get upset, and you're just like, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? I want to fight.
That's because I went broke carrying. I went broke carrying.
Yeah.
And I knew once I saw the hypocrisy in people coming at me, knowing that they had the same problems I did, it was like, this is just, they're hurt.
Yeah.
And they want somebody to notice them. That's all they want.
That's the truth, though. When you are just giving out F's like people are giving out free samples at Costco, you're going to end up in a very bad place in your life. I promise you. Because, again, you are wasting something so valuable. Your time is the greatest commodity that you have. That is the most valuable thing that you have in your life. And if you're spending your time on stuff that is not time worthy, what's going to happen? What's the trajectory of your life? Do you think that's going to be a place where you're going to become the best you? Absolutely not. And so you said something earlier, Manny, that I thought was such a great thing, and I think to me represents what a bad value is. It's something that is not immediate or controllable, right? Another thing I would say is it's socially destructive, either to you or to others around you. And then also, too, it is something that's not reality-based. So it's superstitious.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So, like, for example, I said this earlier, popularity to me would be a bad value, right? Material success, right? Because you always feel like, I don't have enough. I should have a home. I should have a better car. I should have a better whatever, a better watch. I need a Rolex, all these sorts of things. To me, that's a bad value because a lot of that stuff is out of your control. And there's always going to be someone who has way more than you.
Yeah.
Always being the center of attention. To me, that is a bad value.
I've been accused of that many a time. But it's not my fault because I'm not the center of attention because I want to be.
Yeah.
So like sometimes you end up that guy.
Yeah.
But I don't like the feeling.
Absolutely. Feeling good all the time. To me, that is a bad value because life isn't good all the time.
Right.
So
yes.
To me, that is unhealthy because we have a lot of people who don't want to deal with reality on reality's terms. Life itself, as the Buddha would say, life itself is a form of suffering. Life itself, just living.
Jesus.
Everywhere that you go, you're going to encounter problems. It doesn't matter what you do, right? Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, these guys got money problems, right? The amount of billions of dollars that these guys are pushing. But then also the homeless guy on the street that you see right here on LINKTREE in North Hollywood, he has money problems. They both have problems. It's just different quality of problems.
Yeah.
So trying to stay happy all the time, trying to
Right.
stay positive all the time, always feeling good about yourself all the time, that is a bad value because you're going to at some point be in denial of what reality is trying to show you. Which we'll get
That's
into
good.
to this into another pod about the always trying to be right. To me, that is like, it's terrible. It's a terrible value to have because being wrong actually gives you the opportunity to grow. So if you're always right, you ain't growing. And if you ain't growing, people are growing past you.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, for sure.
Relationships are going to change.
No, I think, man, exactly what you're talking about. It's interesting because for me, this whole idea of what we're talking about, it hits home because I got tired at one point in my life of just, it became more empty because of the thoughts that I was entertaining, the people that I were entertaining. My life became more empty. It became made up of other people's thoughts and ideas of what my own life should be. Denzel is one of the most adamant people against social media, and I love hearing him talk about it because Denzel Washington, he's so rooted and grounded. He thinks it's the worst thing ever created, which is why he'll never be on it. He'll never, but he's also one of our favorite actors of all time because he's able to maintain himself in it. To think that I gave out so many Fs that my life and my thoughts literally became other people's shortcomings. They hated themselves, so they projected their life onto me. Then because they projected their life onto me, I didn't have enough confidence in myself. I accepted their projections and then started reflecting what they were projecting on me. And then I got so upset because at this point, I'm not even living my own life. I'm living other people's versions of what they think my life is because I'm entangling my mind, my heart, my emotions in their thought processes. And I'm entertaining it. And I'm stooping to their level, trying to bring them to mine. And it's not happening because they're happy where they're at. Until I got into my hippie Jesus movement. I always talk about it. It was very crucial 2 years where it was a hippie Jesus movement where I was a hippie. I was a total hippie where I just started caring about the air and trees.
Really?
And yeah.
When was this?
This is when I lost my voice
Okay.
and I couldn't talk. So I just had to observe. And I got into this real I thank you, Jesus, for waking me up. Thank you for, the stars. Thank you for all this stuff. Because when I didn't know if I was going to ever get my voice back. So everything that I built my life on, everything that other people judged me on was about to maybe go away. Who was I when I didn't have a voice? So I had to look around and really answer the question of who was I? Where am I going to gain value from? Where am I going to gain a confidence? And I found it in understanding that I'm a son of God, and then in the amazing beauty that God has created around me and all the simple things, the things that didn't have nothing to do with a certain standard, with a judgment. And I fell in love with everything that was life, and I just run around like I just love this and I love this, and then it was those 2 years that broke me free from caring about anything, to the point where now I still don't care about I don't care about a lot of things. If I didn't have to, if I didn't have to be on social media, I wouldn't. If I didn't have to promote this podcast,
I'm at that place in my life too, where
I really wouldn't.
I realize that the amount that this is harmful to me is a little bit bigger now than the way that this is beneficial to me.
Yeah.
I know this is a very morbid thought, but
Let's talk about it.
like when you can see from the end, it'll all of a sudden change the way that you view the now. So I think about hopefully someday with long life, I die late in my 90s. That'd be awesome to see so many different things. But I just imagine being there in that place in my last moments, hopefully surrounded by the people that I love the most. And overgoing on my life if I had enough time to think about all these things, I'd think about obviously my greatest memories. I'd think about, oh man, remember that one time we went on that one trip? Oh, do you remember when she lost her first tooth? You know, all these sorts of things. But I would also think about, man, in a lot of ways, I missed it. And I would probably think about certain situations in my life or certain seasons of my life or certain distractions that I got caught up in. And I would think about, man, if I would have had so much more time to dedicate to these things that actually matter to me in the end. Right? So if we could live with the end in mind, and again, not in an orbit way, but an inspiring way to live life to the fullest right now.
Yeah.
And live life to the fullest with things that are truly worthy of your time and your attention. Because I just think, man, the times that I got slighted as a kid, the times that I got misunderstood coming out of my deconstruction, the times people misjudge me for the things that I post on social media, I don't think I'm going to be in my late 90s and be like, you know what? Rosie 2929, she really got me. Like, I'm really going to be like, man, I can't believe I wasted so much time on something that is completely irrelevant to my life now. Because, like, that's really what it is. Like, to me, I'm like, I want to live a full life. Like, everything that life has to offer, I want to have it. All the good things, you know? And so, yeah, I try, and this is like something I've always thought about. I've always tried to think of the end in now, right? So
I think in the end, when I think about the end, I only want to be walking with my love, holding hands still.
Is it still me?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Unless you die, then it has to be somebody else. But either way, walking with my love.
It's gonna be me
just
too.
ghost.
I'm gonna haunt you, so it's gonna be me too.
I just want us to be happy. Like, simple. I don't think it's going to take much.
Yeah.
I really don't. And that's why I'm losing the lust for life, how we used to live it. You know? It's weird, but I don't have no more ups to give about on stuff like that. Like, I'm fully convinced now more than ever what's important. I can't wait till we can travel again.
Yeah.
This fall, we're planning on doing, getting a cabin around Christmas time, or second it gets cold, we'll all go up there. We'll create memories that are going to take us through the rest of 2020. You know what I'm saying? Because that's really all the things that I remember. I still remember New York and all the fun we had, and I can just look back and smile, and I feel like, man, it's my heart fills with like that moment in time. I want to create more of those, and it's all about the people and the experiences that we have.
Yeah.
Nothing else, you know?
I had this interesting moment where this was a couple years ago. Maddie's grandmother was in the hospital. She was needing like heart surgery, and the heart surgery wasn't going good. So we're getting updates. We're there in the waiting room, and everyone is obviously a complete mess because it's not looking good for her grandmother. And we're sitting there, and I just close my eyes, and I'm just like praying. I'm like, God, would you heal Maddie's grandmother right now? You know? And it was one of the craziest experiences of my life. In this moment, I can only explain it like this: that our spirits connected. And
You and the grandma?
Me and grandma.
Cool.
And I am with grandma in this hallway, and on the other side of this hallway is the light. And I know that is like into this eternal paradise with God. And this hallway wasn't filled with anything but memories. And I'm walking with grandma in this hallway of memories. And I see this one memory where she's actually holding Maddie when Maddie was born.
Wow.
And she is looking at Maddie, and she's looking at me in this vision that I'm in. And she says, hey, let Maddie know how much I love her. And as I was walking through this hallway, it was all these beautiful memories.
Wow.
And I realized, man, like that is really all we have. Like at the end of our life, when we are crossing into this other side or whatever it is, you can't take any sort of material possession that you've acquired in this life. None of that. You can't take likes with you. You can't take so-and-so's opinion of you. None of that you take with you. You take with you these memories that you have chosen to make and to spend your time and your money and your attention on. And I remember leaning over to Maddie in the waiting room, and I'm like, obviously tears in my eyes, and it's just like, hey, she loves you so much, you know? And that moment was like super, I don't know how to put it, like, I guess marking for me. Like, it marked me in the sense that, like, man, these are the things that matter. Like, this is really what this conversation is about, is like, are you spending your time and your F's on the things that matter? So
I think only you can really answer that question. We've obviously answered it for ourselves and hopefully continue to answer it and keep each other accountable. Like, babe, you keep me accountable. I'm going to keep you accountable. Where you're giving your F's.
I'm going to disconnect all my social medias. Just kidding.
No.
I can't. I want to.
Don't disconnect. Just reconnect with,
I know, it's
with
so hard.
the most important things. That could be your
Just
accountability.
breaking that habit. No, I don't want you to.
I want a different accountability partner. I remember those times.
Man, I really do pray that you guys felt this conversation and that it made you think a little bit. We'd love to hear from you, like, honestly. Make sure you do tell your friends about the pod and subscribe and do all the good stuff and share it. We really, really, really appreciate it, and hope you got something from this episode. Hey, we pray that you find a seat at the table, but if you don't, you are always welcome at ours.
Cheers.
Cheers.
No more fuck to give.